Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel where it's all about learning and playing the music we love. I'm Phil and this video is the first in a new series that I'm putting together looking at the skills and techniques that make the playing of Mark Knopfler completely unique and recognisable. In over 45 years of listening and playing the music of Mark Knopfler, I've noticed, as probably you have, that there are some characteristics of the way the great man plays that set his sound apart from anyone else. Whether he's playing in a rock, acoustic, Strat, Les Paul, folk or any other style you care to mention, one thing is certain, you can always recognise the MK sound, and this is, of course, down to what he does with his fingers on the strings. So without further ado, let's dive in. Come with me. So here we are with the Strat, and in this first in the series, I'm going to look at what I call the one-string multi. You'll hear this technique used on a lot of MK's music. I'll give you some examples. I'll also try and give you the time within the track on the album that you'll hear this technique so that you can go and search them out for yourself. So some examples are Once Upon a Time in the West. No need for a time code on that one. That's right at the beginning in the introduction. Telegraph Road, 1 minute 51 seconds on the album. Tunnel of Love, 1 minute 25 on the album. Sailing to Philadelphia, 4 minutes 29 on the album. And So Far from the Clyde, 2 minutes 30 from the Get Lucky album. And that's to name but a few. I'm going to use these songs and those time positions within those songs just to illustrate how you can master this technique. Okay, so the first one is Once Upon a Time in the West. I'll just show you both the neck and the plucking hand at the initial stages. Then I'll concentrate on the plucking hand because that's where all the action is on this one. So, introduction to Once Upon a Time in the West. And here's the technique. Okay, and you know the rest. So let's just have a look in a bit more detail at that picking hand because this is where the one-string multi happens. So the reason I call it a one-string multi is because it's a multiple pluck on one string to create a certain sound. Let me do that in full time for you. So what he's doing is thumb and index finger in quick succession, both on that D string, and then that's followed very quickly by the middle finger plucking the G string like this. I missed a string altogether there. So done really slowly. See how my thumb tends to rest on that D string? That just helps keep the hand in the right sort of place. What it also does is it mutes that D string. So the example I'm going to use from Telegraph Road is very similar, but there is a twist you can add in here. So very first time you hear the guitar on the introduction, you're going to hear something like that. Just split that screen for you. Now if you want to get really kind of slick with this technique, you can add a 3 pluck rather than a 2 pluck. So what I mean is, so if you just have a look at the neck here, so if you use that position and then use this technique on the picking hand, so instead of doing 2 plucks on one string and then using your middle finger to do the 3rd pluck on the next string, you can do all your plucking on the G string. So I'll do it really slowly. So it's 1, 2, 3. So there are two ways you can do it. You can do the one string multi, and one string has 2 plucks and the next string has the 1. Or you can do the one string multi where the one string has all 3. Okay, let's have a look at the Ton Love Love example. So the position I've used here is just on the 6th and 7th fret. So it's 2 plucks on the G string and 1 on the B. You can make it sound a little bit more authentic, perhaps, if you do the all 3 plucks, as we did in the previous example, on the G string. Let me just show you that picking hand. Again, my thumb ends up resting on the D string, but I start on the G. So you'll see here I've got all 3 fingers that are going to be doing any work here on that G string. So we go thumb, index, and then middle finger. And what I'm doing is I'm putting my thumb back on the string to mute it before I actually sound the note. Okay, the next example is Sailing to Philadelphia. I think I might have said 4 minutes 29 in the intro. It's more like 4 minutes and 9 seconds when I look at it. So 4 minutes 9 seconds, and this is an example of needing 2 strings. So he plays this. Riff, very, very typically Knopfler. So on this one, you do need that D string 4th fret, G string 2nd fret to create the sound. You can see here I'm using either my middle finger on my on my fretting hand or my ring finger. It doesn't matter, whatever feels good to you. Again, just on the picking hand. So 2 separate notes now. So it's that D and the G string. Okay, so some really classic examples there of the one string multi technique. Sometimes you'll need 1 string, sometimes you'll need 1 string plus the next one up to create the effect that MK produces on the album or on a song. Well worth having a look at some of the live work. If you can have a look at the videos on YouTube, you'll actually see where and when he does this. It's definitely one of his go-to techniques, so very well worth you getting this down and getting really comfortable with it so that you can capture that true MK sound. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you got something out of it that you can use in your playing. Look out for the next one in the series coming soon. But for now, thanks for watching. Bye for now.